The last episode of The Blacklist was definitely a letdown, but The Blacklist Season 4, Episode number 10, The Forecaster, the newest episode of The Blacklist, was phenomenal. And it was phenomenal for the simple reason that both plots worked really well, and that we got to see a lot of twists and turns, and I think it was um, especially helped by how cool the Blacklister plot was this week. So basically, this week's episode opens with Elizabeth and Tom talking, and of course, talking to Agnes and unpacking, and they find this creepy little model of a murder outside of Liz's door. Then the murder goes down, a senator is killed, and the FBI, she takes it into the FBI headquarters, of course, and they realize that eventually, through a process of elimination, that um, it's a little girl with a hearing aid there's a little girl who's in an apartment with a hearing aid that picks up on frequencies criminals are using to communicate, and so she's the one who makes these models. And the mom just placed the sculptures outside of Liz's house not to basically say, haha, I'm going to kill this person, but to get Liz to stop these murders from happening. And so we get this interesting concept, and they all tune in to try to listen to the criminals' conversations. Um, and they figure out there's this scene where a man basically tries to kill the FBI, and they try to catch him, and he escapes and kills a few people, tries to kidnap the girl. But after that, it turns out that we figure out that that guy and his boss have been in a company, and they've been trying to raise their stocks by killing off their competition, basically. And they have been doing so they can leave the company rich, just buy out all their stocks, take all the money with them, and get rich quick. And in the end, this guy's got to kill this last client, this last person, in order for all of his plans to be complete. So they enlist the help of this girl who could predict the past murders, and basically the plan for this guy to kill this last person is to kill him in an elevator by cutting the elevator wires in an old building, since there's no elevator feature. And Wrestler goes to the other a building nearby and shoots across and kills the guy, but the elevator cord still cuts. The elevator's falling, but Liz makes it to the safety switch before the elevator falls and kills this man, and the day is saved. But that whole entire plot, as you could tell when I was talking about it, there's twists and turns, and you didn't know what to expect next. So everything was wonderful with that. But probably even more compelling this week was Raymond's plot, which involved him pitting two African crime lords against each other. One of them being named Inko, the other one Kino. And basically, he tells Kino that he will help him overthrow Inko, his boss, because he's sort of just a pawn, and he trusts him. And he tricks him to coming to the apartment, and actually Inko's waiting for him there with Red, and he kills him. But Inko has a past with Red because he killed his friend who was an activist for the people who are working in Inko's mines. And they basically have this discussion, and Raymond, he kills Inko. So basically he took out this guy who killed his friend and his second in command, so he just destroys this guy's business. But what's even more interesting is we figure out that Red did this not only because his friend was murdered by Inko, but because he was just looking for new cleaners since Mr. Kaplan had left. And so this whole entire time, Raymond's unhinged. He's sort of on, this isn't a very Raymond's a bad person, but he's not characteristically this bad. And so seeing this episode was amazing because we got to see Raymond sort of unhinged. I think when he shot Mr. Kaplan, it sort of set him off. And so the whole point, of course, was to get the cleaning crew, and he did get them. But it is interesting to note that Dembe went over to Liz's at the end of the episode and told Liz that about Raymond's state. So it'll be interesting to see how they interact now that Liz knows how Raymond's been doing and how he's been on edge and how Dembe is scared. And Dembe is a really cool character, and I love how he has that powerful moment with Liz where he says, I can't even control Raymond anymore. I can't even recognize him. It's a very interesting point. Also, a great point to note is Tom and Liz's scenes on screen were powerful, basically talking about how Tom doesn't want to forget who he used to be, but at the same time, he wants to move forward. And all the scenes that Tom and Liz had together were phenomenal. So for a score for this episode, it's going to be much higher than last week's. They had the cool Blacklister plot with this girl listening into the crimes with her hearing aid. You have Raymond being unhinged, which is something you rarely see on this show. But there is something that did irritate me this episode, and it's Tom being sidelined. I understand that they're trying to sideline him for a bit before he gets his own show, Blacklist Redemption, but at the same time, I would like to see Tom in the field more. It's kind of annoying seeing him at the home dealing with the baby constantly. But overall, it's a great episode of The Blacklist. This is what last week should have been, and I'd have to give The Blacklist Season 4, Episode 10, entitled The Forecaster, an 8.9 out of 10. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Remember to like and subscribe for more. This has been Jonesy from Jonester TV, signing off.